Hello students, so this is the second presentation in your first chapter of geography textbook. We have already discussed what are resources, their types, their classification, their need, resource planning, their conservation, etc. All these topics we have already discussed. We will be discussing about soil as a resource. Now, soil is the most important renewable natural resource as it is the medium of plant growth and supports all types of living organisms which are present on the earth. It is a living system which takes millions of years to form. Now, various forces of nature such as change in temperature, action of running water, wind and glacier, activities of decomposers, etc., contribute to the formation of soil. This image here shown gives us the profile of soil. The topmost layer is called topsoil or the upper layer soil, which is responsible for growth of all types of plants and trees as it is most rich in minerals. Then comes the subsoil layer, which consists of weathered rocks, sand and silt clay. Then comes the substratum layer, which consists of weathered parent rock material, and then comes the last layer, which is the unweathered parent rock material. Okay, all the changes which are chemical and organic which take place in the soil are equally important because soil also consists of organic and inorganic materials which serve as minerals. Okay, on the basis of factors which are responsible for the formation of soil, its color, its thickness, texture, age, etc., the soils of India are classified in many types. Number one is the alluvial soil. The alluvial soil is basically present in the entire northern plain. It is deposited by three important Himalayan river systems, the Indus, the Ganga, and the Brahmaputra. It is also found in Rajasthan, Gujarat, and eastern coastal plains, particularly in the deltas of Mahanadi, Godavari, the Krishna, and the Kaveri rivers. Okay, the alluvial soil is a very good soil for growth of plants and crops because it consists of various proportions of sand, silt, and clay. As we move inland towards the river valleys, the soil particles appear to get bigger in size, where in the upper side of the river valley the soils are coarse. Okay, based on age, the alluvial soils are also classified as the old alluvial soil and the new alluvial soil. The properties of alluvial soils are they are very fertile, they contain adequate proportions of potash, phosphoric acid, and lime, which are ideal for the growth of sugarcane, paddy, wheat, and other cereal and pulse crops. Okay, that is the reason alluvial soil is considered very important. Then comes the black soil. These soils are black in color and they are also known as rigor soils. This is ideal for growing cotton and groundnut. These soils are generally present in the plateaus of Maharashtra, Saurashtra in Gujarat, Malwa, Madhya Pradesh, and Chhattisgarh. Okay, these soils are made up of extremely fine clayey material and they are well known for their capacity to hold moisture, and also they are very rich in soil nutrients like calcium carbonate, magnesium. Want to bring your attention to this map which is a distribution of major soil types all over the country. So we can see that the northern region of the country is mostly covered in more forest and mountainous region. As we go slightly downwards, we find the alluvial plains as we had discussed. Some parts of Gujarat and the South India, some parts of eastern states are covered in red and yellow soil which are rich in iron minerals. Then we can see the grayish and the light purple part, which is the, just a minute. So these are the regions of black soil where we can, which are good for growing soybean, groundnut, cotton, etc. Then we can see this light pink small portions which form the laterite soil, and the light yellow portions of Rajasthan and some part of Gujarat which form the arid soil, or you can say the desert. All right, this can be asked in exam, so you'll have to understand this map in detail, and you have any doubts, you can always get back to us. Thank you.